Hello everyone, I'm Tremayne and welcome to 5 Minute Reviews, where today I'm going to review Amazon Prime's new show, Hunters. But first, if you haven't done so, please take a minute to subscribe. If you have subscribed, thank you very much, I really appreciate it. Please hit that like button because that lets YouTube know this is a good video for people looking for reviews. Now, basically the show Hunters is about, it's inspired by true life events, and it talks about when the war was over, Nazi war criminals were recruited by the American politicians or American government to come in and work for them versus working for the Russians. So, help us get to the moon, help us create weapons, and our excuse is, no matter how many people you killed, I think it was like 11 million Jews, we're going to give you sanctuary here, new names, houses, everything, so that you can start over and kind of do some of the things you were doing there, here. And throughout the show, it lets you know that there's some mind-boggling things that were allowed to go on that we don't see in American history. And I'm gonna give you the good, I'm gonna give you the bad. The good thing about this show is it's extremely intense. It draws you right in. The characters are well written, and I found myself really feeling for these characters and their plight, because it reminded me so much of black folks being enslaved, families being torn apart, being murdered, being demoralized, and everything we went through, I felt was mirrored in a lot of these Holocaust scenes we were seeing, which is why I feel like Jews and blacks probably should be a lot closer, having similar histories. But I'm not going to go there, but I just wanted to say that I felt for them so much that I was drawn so deeply into the show when, this is one minor spoiler because I'm sure this is going to happen, but somebody dies. And when that character dies, it affected me so deeply, I was crying. Like, oh, I didn't want that person to die. So when a show can do that, it's good. And I was able to binge this in 2 days. I watched 6 episodes yesterday and the last 4 today. If I had started watching earlier in the day, I would have watched all 10 episodes yesterday. But I didn't. And but I knew today I couldn't wait to start watching again. And that's why I highly recommend the show for you. Like I said, this is spoiler free, except for that little detail I just gave you. But this is basically spoiler free, and so I'm not going to go too deep into the plot, other than say that when Jewish people discovered that war criminals were living in America, some of them became Nazi hunters to bring them to justice. That's the overall plot. The rest, I just want you to be drawn in. Now, the bad. I love that it was a lot of diversity. And they had black women that were created, and they did a really good job on creating the black women. My problem is the way they did the black men, being a black man myself. The father, who one of the characters is a lesbian, her father seemingly was disapproving. He was always frowning and suspicious, and something was going on. And because that plot was not developed, I thought it was unnecessary for her to have such a disapproving father, such a mother embracing her. That was stereotypical. That was just point blank very stereotypical. We know from Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union's family that even trans children can be accepted. So it's not about saying that there's every black father accepts their LGBTQ children. It's just that if you're going to twerk the narrative, at least let people know that not every parent is like that. That, in black families, they can have loving mothers and fathers that they are accepting. Even if they're not sure if they will be, that is something that needs to change. But once again, we need to start telling our own stories. Other than that, and there's another black guy who's pretty much useless in the show, and pretty much useless. I don't know about him and the kind of sort of black female love interest that the main character had. I have no idea why they were there, but they were pointless in the script. But I am looking forward to season 2. I highly recommend the show, and I want you to let me know in the comment section what you think about this, and I will catch you in the next video.